Hey everybody, what's going on? Today I had to talk about this new subject that just came up. Shout out to Liam Nolan from CBR, that's where I found this article. Apparently, Universal is still trying to salvage the Dark Universe's Bride of Frankenstein. After The Mummy, I kind of assumed that the Dark Universe was just dead. That's what I would have done logically, brought it out back, shot it, as I tend to say pretty often. We all saw how terrible The Mummy was and how badly that translated. What the fuck would they possibly do in a Bride of Frankenstein movie? I have no fucking idea. You don't have Frankenstein's monster that is, so presumably just a female Frankenstein? I don't know why they wouldn't just call it Frankenstein and pull that. Do the female Frankenstein, because it sounds like something that would happen in this day and age. So I guess a production team has been assembled. They have a cinematographer, Tobias Schelsler, don't know how to say that, Sarah Greenwood, Carter Burnwell is going to be will be a composer. So apparently this is all starting to come together. And I guess they might even have a Frankenstein monster, Javier Bardem. This is not a very smart idea. They no longer have an actress. Angelina Jolie probably is backing out, it sounds like. So I don't know who they're going to do for the actress. I highly doubt they're going to be able to get the same level of star. I'm sure they could find somebody that's fairly well known, but someone with any acting talent that's very well known, I kind of doubt it. And the problem with this movie is, maybe the movie would be good if it was made, but the Dark Universe needs to go. I think they should make more low-key horror movies, or just a modern reimagining of what we've seen. A lot of the times movies like The Mummy with Tom Cruise, I, Frankenstein, wasn't there like Dracula something a couple years ago, Dracula Unwritten or something like that. The problem with those movies are they're so high octane, they don't understand what at least Universal had put out earlier, previously. The original movies were pretty much people standing around being like, oh, what's going on with these monsters? People get scared, people would occasionally die, and then it would end with some sort of romance. Usually the dude saved the girl, and they're like, well, Frankenstein's dead for now. And I could see this being reimagined into more of like a thriller than a horror movie, necessarily. And I could potentially see some sort of, little up the ante a bit from that. But I think you gotta keep it within a basis of what these characters are. The Mummy could easily have been adapted into something bigger. Brendan Fraser's Mummy wasn't really the basis of the Mummy. I mean, the Mummy was some archaeologists finding a mummy and getting attacked. I mean, I guess that kind of worked how Brendan Fraser did it. They upped the ante. They kept the spirit to an extent. And I think you should do something different than that, even if you want to respect the source material more, especially since you're making this into a universe now. A dark universe, which is essentially supposed to be remaking the entire original monster universe. Universal created way back when, in the early 30s to like the early 60s. But this is clearly not what they're going for. I don't know what you would do with a Bride of Frankenstein movie. It would likely be a misunderstood monster goes and fights some fucking thing. They won't keep the basis of Frankenstein intact because Universal is still holding out hope to make their Monster Mash movie or whatever, where they team up and fight evil demons or something. So, all in all, this movie sounds really fucking stupid to me. Maybe they could make a good movie. Perhaps, I doubt it, but perhaps. But the only way to do that is to the only way to do a connected universe, I should say, is to either get rid of the Dark Universe entirely, and do solo movies, or make it a little more low-key, make it a thriller, try to keep the bones of the original Universal movies, but maybe try to modernize them. I don't know how you do it. I don't have the slightest clue. A lot of those Universal movies are classic and still very watchable to this day if you don't mind watching slow, boring by comparison movies. I personally enjoy them. So I can see that, I can see that concept working, but I don't see it having high appeal. To make it appeal to a mass audience and make it into a cinematic universe that works in 2018, I don't see how you make that work. So hopefully they come to their senses, cancel the Dark Universe. If not, Bride of Frankenstein's gonna come out, will likely suck and likely kill this universe. I don't want to call it already. I wish I could assume it was good, but I doubt it. Alright guys, well that was all for today in the way of our news. I do want to announce that once we hit 500 subscribers, I'll be giving away a copy of The Disaster Artist. And the way you can win that is subscribe and leave a comment down below. The book, The Disaster Artist, by the way. Wow, this is a pretty bad plug, but anyways, subscribe, and once we hit 500 subscribers, leave a comment that says, I want Disaster Artist. Just I want Disaster Artist. And then email us at ntmaproductions@gmail.com with your address. And then we'll fucking send it out to you, and you can read the book. It's based on the movie. And the reason we got the book and not the movie, because I know most people probably would just prefer to watch the movie out of laziness, is because I accidentally ordered 2 copies on eBay. But once we hit 500, you could win that for free. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys.